All right, good morning, everyone. Again, my name is Tiffany. I work for a company called CS1 Benefit Solutions, but we work with the standard and help inform employees about benefits like these. So your coverages with the standard currently, you have two coverages that are paid for by Engineers Construction and two that you can opt into and pay for yourself if you choose to do so. So we're going to just go over those two benefits that your employer pays for you pretty quickly and then spend most of our time talking about the optional benefits that you can purchase if you would like to. The first benefit is short-term disability. So short-term disability covers a portion of your income if you can't work because of a disability. So if you are sick or you are injured and your doctor disables you from your job, you can get a portion of your paycheck each week. So how this works is you would get 60% of your salary up to a maximum of $2,200 per week. And that benefit would continue for up to 180 days if you continue to be disabled for that long. There is a benefit waiting period at the beginning. If you are disabled due to an accidental injury, your benefits do begin on day one. If your disability is due to a disease, an illness, pregnancy, or mental health, that does begin on day 8. So there's a 7-day waiting period there. Again, your employer pays for this benefit for you, so nothing comes out of your paycheck to pay for this. And then there's a couple of notes here, no pre-existing condition limitations, so any disability that you are diagnosed with is covered. And for your employer, there is a benefit of an included $25,000 of a reasonable accommodation. So if you can come back to work, but there's something that your employer would have to provide in order for you to do that, there is a benefit from the standard to help with that process. And the next benefit is a basic life and accidental death and dismemberment benefit. So this is a $25,000 flat amount if you that is paid to a beneficiary if you were to pass away while you're employed here at Engineers Construction. There's a few value-added services, including travel assistance. It's portable, so if you did want to take this benefit with you after you leave employment, you can do so. Repatriation is a travel assist benefit where if you were to pass away in a foreign country, this benefit does bring your body back to the States. Um, Now, this benefit, $25,000, for some folks, that may be enough life insurance. For some folks, that may not be enough. So that's kind of leading us into this next piece, where if you were to think, if you were to pass away very soon right now, would $25,000 be what you would want to leave to your beneficiaries? Would it cover schooling for children or mortgages or any other debt you may have, or just set up your loved ones to be have a little bit more ease in handling the loss of your income in addition to the loss of you. So that's where additional life comes in. So you can purchase additional life insurance for yourself or a spouse or your children during this open enrollment period right now. So how this works is you can purchase in $10,000 increments, starting at $10,000 all the way up to $500,000. The cost for this is based on your age and then the amount that you want to purchase. That information can be found on your enrollment form. There's a chart on the back where you just find your age down one side and the value on the other, and where they meet is your cost per paycheck. The premium for this is taken out of your payroll, so you don't have to remember to remit a bill or pay for anything quarterly or monthly. It's taken out automatically, and Engineers Construction remits that payment on your behalf. Um, for an employee, like I said, you can purchase from 10 to 500,000. Up to 250,000 is called guaranteed issue coverage, and that means you don't have to answer any medical questions. Anything above that, you would need to answer medical questions. There's a 7 or 8 questionnaire that you would need to complete, and the standard would either say yes, you are insurable at that amount, or no, you are not. But for all employees up to $250,000, it's that much life insurance with no questions asked. That is a one-time offer from insurance carriers. When you have an open enrollment like this, there's lots of people that apply for insurance at one time. So in those numbers, we can offer a certain amount with no health questions. If you choose to enroll in 3 months, you would have to answer health questions for all amounts. So this is kind of that one-time deal with a guaranteed issue amount. You can also insure your spouse, as I said. For spouses, you can get up to $50,000 with no questions asked, but you can go higher than that, up to 100,000. And children, all children are covered under one policy, whether you have one or five. They're one policy, it's $10,000 for each child. Um, and we'll go on to accident coverage. So if you've ever seen an Aflac commercial, we always are thankful for the duck. He does lots of advertising for us, so we don't have to. Most people know about those commercials where if you have an accidental injury, the carrier pays a benefit based on your experience. So in this example here, let's say you play in a city soccer league and you have an ER visit that reveals you have a concussion, a broken leg, a torn ACL and meniscus, and you stay in the hospital for 2 days and have surgery. If you were to do that, no matter how much or how little your health insurance covers and pays for, no matter how much or how little your deductible is or your out of pocket expenses are, the standard's going to pay you $7,530. They're going to send you a check for that amount, and you use that how you want to. It's made to pay off that deductible and make it so you have less out of pocket expenses. But if you wanted to take that 7 grand and go on vacation, you can do that too. It's up to you. The benefit, like I said, is paid no matter what your health insurance does or does not cover or does not pay. These are for off-job injuries. Um, and it's a very low cost benefit. It's a few dollars a week, and it's a nice benefit, especially if you have a family with children or if you may feel like you're accident prone yourself. It's a small payment for a substantial benefit if you do have an accidental injury. For this one, you can cover just yourself, you can add on a spouse, or you can add on your children. Here's some further examples of what this covers, but really if you think any accidental injury that has a date of occurrence, anything that's involved with that when you go to the doctors or the hospital has a benefit attached to it. The smaller the incident, the smaller the benefit. So if you break a finger, that bone is not worth the same amount as if you break your femur. Everything is on a scale. There's also an accidental death and dismemberment benefit in this as well if you chose to elect the accident coverage. So these forms, this open enrollment is running from today through April 19th. We are asking that everybody completes that enrollment form, whether you're electing coverage or not. Just let us know that you are declining coverage by checking the final box or electing coverage if you would like to check one of the other boxes. It's important. I'll insert my I sell life insurance joke here. Update your beneficiary forms. The last thing that you want to have happen is if you were to unexpectedly pass away for someone that you don't want to get your benefit to receive it because you didn't update your form. So make sure you do that and that the person or persons that you would like to receive your benefit are the ones that are noted on your beneficiary form. There's a full form for that. You can also complete that on the enrollment form for these benefits. Overall, for both these benefits, they're optional. They are something that you would have taken out of your payroll, but the benefit premiums are not that high for either of these benefits. It sounds like everyone or most people have Monday off. What a great opportunity to talk to your loved ones about life insurance. It's a great uplifting conversation to have before an eclipse. But talk with your
So
loved ones, see what may make sense for you and your family. And if you do have any questions, if you let HR know, they can either answer your questions or connect you with us to answer anything further.
perfect. Hey, I should have introduced Gina to everybody because not everyone knows Gina or has visited her in person, but I see that Gina wants to say something. So I just wanted to make sure that everybody knows Gina, our HR person.
Yeah, thanks, Ken. Good morning, everybody. And thank you, Tiffany, for the presentation. That was excellent. The enrollment forms that Tiffany's talking about were in everybody's pay envelope this week. So they're right there. I mean, you've got them. You should have them by now. If not, they're in the mail. Again, get them back to us. We have a hard time collecting forms, so we would appreciate you doing that. If you haven't filled out your beneficiary forms that we've sent out prior, you can actually use this form to send it in, and that'll qualify for that. So thanks again to Tiffany, and I hope everybody has a great long weekend.
So do you think, Gina and Tiffany, that maybe we could have Tiffany or her colleague who couldn't make it today come to ECI some morning, Friday morning, just like the Morgan Stanley people come for a few hours? And if people have, or at least set up the opportunity, say next week or something, to have some open hours at the office for kind of in-person discussion, because it just seems like a lot of this is a better individual, direct, in-person conversation about these things.
Right, and we've talked about that, and we are open to having somebody come in, whether it's Tiffany or Matt, come in and be on site. If there's anybody interested in that, please let us know. She can also, or Matt can also talk to anybody via like a Teams meeting or even via a phone call. I believe, Tiffany, you're out of state, right? Or you're not local.
No, Matt's in Maine and I'm in New Hampshire.
Yeah,
Oh,
so
okay.
I mean, it's not out of the question. They certainly have offered to do that. But
Yeah.
again, if people are interested, we can do that. The other thing I wanted to add is that the payroll deductions wouldn't start until May. So it's
Mhm.
open enrollment during April, but everything would actually kick in May, the first week ending in May. So but 4/19 is the drop dead, no pun intended, date
Mhm.
for it. So we want to get those forms in by the end of next week. Well, actually the week after. Yeah.
Okay. Well,
Thanks,
thanks.
Ken.
I'll go review those forms, and they do certainly sound like interesting coverages. I think that the no physical exam for the certain limits you're proposing, 250,000, sounds like is very appealing. And also the idea that a little extra coverage so that next time I go to the ER, I'll have some additional coverage.
I
Yeah,
don't want you to
exactly.
get paid for getting hurt though, Ken. I don't want to reinforce that. It is for your family members too, right, Tiffany? This has been now. I think I might have missed that when I was listening, but can you get that accidental death or accidental insurance, like if your kid gets hurt? Or
Yep, you can.
yeah.
And they actually have a neat benefit added on to the accident plan. They get an extra 25% if they're hurt doing an organized youth sport. So if
Whoa,
your
that's
kiddo
cool.
plays football and they get hurt out there, the benefit is increased.
Mhm.
But yes, you can have employee only, employee and spouse, employee and children, or whole family coverage.
Yeah, and I don't have the enrollment form in front of me, but as I recall, Tiffany, I think for just a single accident policy, I think it's like $250 a week. I think it's like
Very affordable.
five something for a couple, and it's like $8, I think, for a family, 8 and some
That's
change. So
dollars.
what's
That's
that?
not hundreds of dollars.
No,
That's
no, it's
dollars.
really
Dollars.
affordable.
$2. Yeah.
And you
Yeah.
don't, for the accident, you don't have to be a full-time employee. You only have to work at least 17 hours a week, and you would be eligible. So if there's anybody out there that fits in that category, that's
Yeah.
also a
I
little
just pulled
perk.
up the form, Gina. Employee only coverage is $2.70 a week.
Yep,
Awesome.
very affordable. Yep.
Yeah,
So-
And I would
416
say
for
just
employee and
one
staff.
added, oops, sorry, Matt. One added piece for the accident insurance, you do have to file a claim. That's the only piece that it's the hardest thing to do. It's not a hard process, but you do have to remember to file a claim form. The insurance company doesn't tell the standard that you had an accidental injury and that you need to file a claim. So that is just something you do need to do on your own.
And we can help with that.
I think what's super cool here is getting enrolled is the simplest through this program, through ECI, is as simple as you can ever get. There's just, everything is kind of automated so that like even paying for it is all going to be like through payroll deductions. So if you were to take on this through a independent broker and get all this together, you would have a process you have to deal with all the time. Where here, it's automatic.
Yep.
Okay, thank you. Thank you,
Thank you,
Tiffany,
Ken.
and
Thanks, Tiffany.
Okay, Matt, we'll turn it back over to you. And
I've already
Tom,
seen a lot of attendance come through, but again, just friendly reminder, send that over so we can capture attendance. So we'll have two different recordings, one from the second half on the employee benefit enrollment plan, and then the first half will be our standard meeting. So you'll see those two emails come out here shortly. Well, let's have a safe day. Let's have a great day, everybody. Thank you.
perfect, thanks.
Thanks, Tiffany.